you're back.
It was as if they had all turned into completely different people.
The dissonance I mentioned earlier was...
Right. He was
And that's precisely why...
Oh! It was you all?
It's because I wanted... I don't believe any of Dugier's... Not too long. Dugier made very elaborate preparations for my visit.
Okay, aren't you the Duke?
In all seriousness, however, cuffs and the like should be used. Everything I do, and I've always...
That sounds...
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. And that's why...
Alright, see, and even though the members are acting all up...
Indeed. I have some... The line has been...
Fish?
Let's give them some time. You can find me in my office when the time comes.
Hey! Don't just leave before you've explained everything to Paimon! Hey! It's finally evening. Wriotsly's probably wrapped up his investigation. Paimon has no idea. Come with me on a...
Oh, here you are. Did you manage to land a lucky pull on the welfare meals?
Let's just get straight to the point. Has anything else happened with this society?
Patience, Paimon. Even as the situation continues to brew, we still need to make sense of what we learned so far and go over any sticking points. I'm actually still thinking about the first thing that came to my mind when I noticed something amiss. Why didn't anyone come to me about it?
Oh, that's a good point. Could whatever they're afraid of be so powerful that even you won't be able to do anything about it?
But even if such a thing existed, how could they be so sure without checking with me first? It'd be one thing if it was just one or two people, but it seems like everyone's convinced that I won't be able to help. Which leads me to believe that it's more likely that they think I just wouldn't care to help them. Yes, something like that. Dugier must have told them something to make them think I won't take their side. So it became imperative for me to refute that and prove my true stance. Of course, I had originally planned to do this in a more covert way, but I had to improvise when you identified the guy who'd lost his hat with everyone present. There was no way to keep our investigation a secret after that.
That makes sense. Wait, but does that mean it was all Paimon's fault?
The last thing that guy wanted was for Dugier to find out that he'd lost it. He would have never brought the matter up on his own. But now, not only has Dugier found out that he'd lost his hat, he's also realized that we were the ones who found it. That likely set his internal alarms off all at once. Yes, that's the conclusion I came to as well. It's the only thing that could explain the fear. If we didn't act right then and there, Dugier would probably come up with some other way to hide the truth and we'd be back to square one. So after giving the matter some thought, I tossed that black gem onto the ground. I must say, I was pretty satisfied with the results.
Ah, so you did that on purpose?
Yes, that's right. Of course, that box was discovered as part of our investigation of the Society from the very beginning. I had no way to know if any of the members had actually seen the gem before, but since I had to do something, I decided to gamble. Right. And I said back there that I had no idea what the gem represented. That should have been enough to let people know that it's still early days for my investigation. And since I was traveling with you, heroes who have never turned a blind eye to evil and injustice, they would also understand that we're here to help, rather than to tolerate or uphold the status quo.
You used us as a part of your plan too!
My apologies. There was no time and quite a lot to explain, so I figured it might be easier to just let you see a few things for yourselves. But I can assure you that I've now told you everything there is to know. Of course, you're under no obligation, but I would really appreciate it if you could continue to lend me your support and help me figure out the true secret behind the Society. Would you be willing to lend me your support?
But Paimon's still mad at you!
You have my thanks. Now, there are still two outstanding matters in our investigation. The first is the secret of the hats. I've examined one before. There was nothing suspicious about the item itself. The other is the true purpose of the black gem. We haven't been able to get anything out of anyone with actual knowledge of it. It's my hope that a brave fish will take my bait and venture outside of their dark and murky pool. I'll put some music on while we wait.
Excuse me, Your Grace, but may I come in? I'm afraid that someone's been following me.
Please, do.
I apologize for my lack of composure. These two are the guests that came with you to our gathering place, correct? Yes, my lover Fasol told me all about you. Please, help us, Your Grace. He's in great danger right now.
Slow down, take a deep breath, and start from the top. What happened at the Society?
I'm sorry, Your Grace. I will try. I think I should start from when you saw Fasol last.
You mean when we saw him at the gathering place?
Yes, he fled immediately, but many members are hot on his heels. Thankfully, he still managed to meet up with me and explain everything that had happened. Now that he's lost Dugier's trust, what awaits him is agonizing censure.
Censure?
Censure is Dugier's method of establishing control, as well as the thing we all fear the most. Rather than listening to me explain what it is, Your Grace, please, just let me show it to you. Every secret may be found within...
Here you are. I was wondering where you had run off to in such a hurry. Please excuse us, Your Grace. It was never our intention to disturb you like this. You see, Avisa's mental state has been rather unstable ever since she arrived at the fortress. She rambles often, has hallucinations. It may be best to dismiss her babbling as random gibberish.
I don't recall hearing a knock or giving permission for you to come in.
Oh, my apologies. I merely did not wish for Your Grace to be alarmed. Had I not been so focused on recovering her, I would have followed all the rules of etiquette to the letter. So please, forgive my discourtesy.
Like we believe you.
Please, there's no need to be upset. It's only natural to want to side with the poor sick girl, but I know His Grace to be a reasonable man.
Well then, what if the reasonable man wants to hear the lunatic out?
That would be perfectly fine with me. Oh, and just so you know, we've also found the missing Mr. Fasol. I had no idea why he was so upset about losing his hat, really. Thankfully, he has already returned to his senses. We've brought him back to our place, so there's no need to worry.
I'm sorry, Your Grace. I don't have anything more to say.
This is what you're afraid of, correct? You can tell me everything. I'll do all I can for you.
I've never seen that thing in my life.
Your Grace, I don't think there's anything else she would like to say. Pressuring her will not get you anywhere.
It's all right, Avise. As long as you tell me what it is that you're terrified of, no matter what it is, it will no longer be able to hurt you. I swear this on my name and honor as the Duke.
Your Grace, forget it. I'll keep my mouth shut. I've already said everything I could say about the matter.
I'm sorry, Your Grace, but I really don't have anything more to say. Please, don't press me further.
But why?
In that case, Avise and I will be off. Once again, please accept my apologies for disturbing your peaceful evening, Your Grace.
Miss Avise, please show me your head. That is an order. There's nothing there.
Your Grace, I know you have long tired of my words, but please believe me when I say you've merely let your worries get to your head. The Society has never caused trouble for you or any of the guards at the fortress. We've spent all of our time working hard and trying to lead better lives. Why are you doing everything in your power to prove our guilt? What's wrong with the current state of affairs? I'll do anything for you, as long as you give me the word. Why are you so intent on getting rid of someone who's been unfalteringly loyal?
Your words bore me. You know the consequences if I find you to be
Everything that I do for the Fortress of Meripede. But Your Grace is welcome to visit us any time to confirm the true intent of our activities. All right, Avise, let's head back.
Just what's up with that guy? He makes Paimon really, really mad. We should have shown him his place.
Sooner or later, all will pay the price for their arrogance. He must have been well prepared for this exact scenario, or he wouldn't have dared to be so openly hostile. All the more reason for us to be patient. The entire society are his hostages. His subordinates would definitely react if he were taken into custody, and that's why he dared to bare his fangs right in front of me. The true secret of the society is neither on the hat nor on the members' heads. Dugier probably knew this from the very beginning, which is why he didn't panic. However, if we were to look at the rules, it would also seem like the head has to be the place where they're keeping all of their secrets.
Yeah, none of this makes sense to Paimon either. What are they trying to...
From the way Dugier acted, he must have known from the beginning that we wouldn't be able... I need to think about... But if there's nothing on her head, why did Avis feel the need to remove her hat?
I have an idea, but...
Huh? What is it? Tell Paimon about it!
You mean this thing? So, she handed a key piece of evidence over to us without Dugier noticing. That would mean that Avis didn't stay silent out of fear. She stayed silent because she'd already given us what we needed. Let me take a look. I managed to remove this from the hair clip. It's long, slender, and conical. It's hollow on the inside, and looks something like a cross between a nail and a thorn.
Paimon's last again.
Let's see. What if we do this?
Hey, what are you doing? Wait. Some kind of dark liquid is leaking out of the gem. And some of it has been absorbed by this thorny-looking thing.
You've probably heard before that water is filled with the strongest emotions of humanity. With that in mind, this liquid is probably a highly concentrated solution of fear.
Oh, so that's why even touching it will make you remember unpleasant things.
Dugier would be able to censure others. I can only imagine how it would feel to have this directly injected into your brain. The moment it hits you would be like being flooded with all the terrors you've ever experienced in your life. Agony, desolation, and an overwhelming sense of despair. No wonder they're all so terrified of it.
So, was the hat meant to cover up their wounds?
That might not even be all. Let's go get them right away. We can't let Dugier escape with all of the evidence.
Your Grace, we have taken the Society members into custody. They all tried to flee just a little while ago, as if they had received some kind of order. We decided to forestall their plan, and were just about to send the word when you unexpectedly arrived.
Great work, everyone.
You had prepared for something like this all...
I had them stay here to keep an eye on things, so I'm glad that my intuition turned out to be correct. Perform a thorough search of the Society's headquarters and bring all the members to me.
Understood, Your Grace.
Now, let's check on them. As expected, they all have a hollow thorn inserted into a wound on their head.
Ooh! Paimon's glad her eyesight isn't so good that she can see it from here. Paimon's gonna float away for a bit.
They probably left it there as a lasting reminder of Dugier's censure. These people must have had to endure an unimaginable amount of pain. Let's go check out the other areas, too.
Hey, come here! Have a look at this! This is a book that Paimon found in a box next to the bookshelf. Its contents are exactly the same as this book on the shelf. The colors of the covers are completely different, though, and the names of the authors also don't match up. Yeah, and they dared to claim that they wrote these too.
Look at what I found. This is a surveillance port. With this, Dugier would be able to remotely monitor everything that's happening at the gathering place. So even if Dugier's not there in person, he'll still always have eyes on the Indeed. It's easy to become lost and confused when you're given no instructions or any kind of script to follow. And if any action you take may be deemed a mistake, then perhaps it's better to do less. Or to not do anything at all. Dugier has already tamed them to his will.
Your Grace! Your Grace!
What's the matter?
We couldn't find any Society members in the other areas. It also seems like none of the equipment in those rooms were ever used. All the signs of wear and tear are fake. The lime scale, the layers of dust. They were all deliberately added. We also investigated the members' residences and weren't able to find anything. Their neighbors all say that they haven't returned home for ages.
Oh. Is that right?
They're gone? That could only mean...
Indeed. As long as he allowed Society members to mingle with others, even with threats of censure, Dugier knew that he couldn't stop all of his members from speaking out. Meanwhile, this marvelous gathering place will lose all of its value as soon as a whistleblower sounds the alarm. So instead of being his real base, this is just an elaborate performance. The rest areas, the fancy equipment, even the members that we saw, they were merely part of the front. And only the most docile and well-trained members were selected as his performers.
But then, where can we actually find him?
Let me think. Dugier must be holding all the rest of his members in another place. And if the overseer of my fortress guard has never alerted me to anything of the sort, he must be in Dugier's pocket. I'm of the same mind. Let's...
Did that person flee here?
That's the most likely scenario to me. He's probably already caught wind of Dugier's declaration of war against me, and has fled to seek his protection. Let's keep heading down. There are some we should be on the right track. Let's go. We can... After them!
It's rising! Run!
Did Dugier send you? Why did you attack that guard?
Come on, it's time to talk. Can't you see that he's trying to help?
I will take your cooperation into consideration when it comes time to hand out sentences.
But Mr. Dugier, he didn't want this guy to expose our true location. We were just about to dispose of him when you caught up to...
So, in other words, your headquarters should be this way.
Yes, it's just down this way. You'll make it there once you've seen him pass through a large drainage pipe.
Guards, take them away. Let's go. It's about time.
Time to go. Time to go.
There's so much space down here.
Yeah, these are all former work areas. They've been left abandoned due to a lack of funds. There are usually guards on patrol here. It would seem that all of those guards have been bought as well. Stay sharp. He's got a ton of surprises waiting for it.
Shower me with... Let my name echo in song!
Let's begin.
Into the wind.
Have a safe trip.
One with nature. Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Hey, are you okay?
You're safe now. Just follow the guards and leave this place.
Who knew that there'd be Gardamex here? Dugier really prepared for
And that would explain the strange decommission requests I received, as well as account for all the Gardamex that had mysteriously gone missing. Seems like he's prepared for an...
Hey, what's this?
Seems like some kind of handbook. Let me... this should be the Society's real rules book. It lists all the rules that they're expected to follow. Members are not permitted to speak to each other or to leave without formal permission. 5 members shall form a group, and the whole group will be punished for any single member's wrongdoing. Anyone who reports a fellow member's misbehavior shall be rewarded with food and water. I see. So it's much as I...
But that's just cruel and unreasonable.
To obtain food and water, prisoners are forced to snitch on others, and in the process cause pain to those around them. To avoid punishment, they learn to stop talking with one another. This leaves the wounds they've already received to fester, however, and so resentment builds until every prisoner has become an island. Finally, isolated and without hope, they accept their fate as Dugier's slaves. Do you remember what happened to Paimon? She rejected all the snacks in the box once she was spooked by that black gem. She's usually all for tasty snacks, but she chose to go against her instincts after a negative experience.
Ugh, is that the best example you could come up with? Anyway, Paimon still thinks she made the right decision. It never hurts to be careful.
No, your decision was valid. However, it's also valid to interpret that as a decision that you only made under emotional duress. The human heart is like a raft in a vast and empty ocean. We convince ourselves that we're in control, but in truth, a single wave could sweep us off course and send us crashing into the path of a storm. Those who use fear to lead others astray must pay for that crime.
Time to go.
If I'm not mistaken, the space ahead should be the central area of this place. But the door's been locked. Rather than confront Dugier, I think it's more important right now for us to rescue as many society members as possible. You guys should wait here. We'll try to open the door and check out some other spots.
Open the door. Would we have to do something to this mechanism here? Paimon doesn't get it at all. Forget it. Paimon's just gonna do some trial and error. Whoa! It's turning! Is it because we touched this thing? The other side's open! Let's go.
Barbados, guide us. Yoo-hoo!
A moment, please. Get a little chilly. Away now. Have a safe trip.
Time to go.
activate the mechanism and...
Looks like there's a mechanism that's gotten stuck. It won't turn alongside the others. Is there something we can do? Ooh, the water level's gone way up. So that's how we'll make it to the top.
I swear by my sword! Strike a pose!
These should be the prison cells. Lots of empty cells in here. Dugier's probably moved them elsewhere all—
Let's still rescue the ones who got left behind, though. Every person counts. Hey, it's all right now. You can leave this place.
No, I won't try to leave anymore. I'll never try to leave again. Don't get close to me. I don't want any trouble.
No, we're not gonna do that. Please calm down. We're not bad people.
We won't be able to get through to her right now. Not with the stress response in the way. I'd also guess there are many others here who are more or less like her. Let's let the guards take care of them for now and keep pushing forward.
All right. Let's search for an exit.
Door's open. Huh. Maybe it's His Grace. I'll go take a look.
I leave this area to you. Make sure to bring everyone out safe.
Understood. And please take care as well, Your Grace. We'll return here right away and await your—
Just focus on the tasks you've been given. I already have reliable help over here. Let's go back. We have that mechanism from the first room. Maybe we'll also need to hold it in place using the same device to open. Don't forget to bring these.
The guards from the Fortress of Meripede have already taken control of this.
This seems to be something like...
This is a surveillance terminal. I'm sure Dugier...
Oh... This seems to...
This is a I'm sure
Oh...
Time to go.
I must confess to being furious. To think that there are still some of you who find it permissible to spit up. Remember their names. Fasal and Avis. They've betrayed you, betrayed us, and today you will see with your own eyes what'll happen to those who betray our cause. Go on, Avis. Pierce his skull with the thorn in your hands, and then push in the Aqua Dolores. Of course, you will do it one drop at a time. Let it do its magic again, and don't stop until you've pushed all of it in.
Thistle, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll find a way to endure.
Oh, shut your wretched mouths! When did I give you permission to speak? My rules are the paramount law of this place. Only more pain will come to those who dare to disobey.
That's enough, Dugier. Your rabid screams have been beyond nauseating.
Is that His Grace?
Ah, Wriotsly. I knew you would come, but I didn't expect you to be so quick. Must you still refuse to let me be? Did I not spell everything out for you already? What's so blasphemous about sharing a slice of the cake with me when you've already got the entire fortress at your feet?
It would seem that you can't see the difference between sharing and looting. And on top of that, look at your people. Are they not starving as you wolf down your cake?
You stop acting all high and mighty like some hero of justice! Have you forgotten? Nobody in this blasted fortress is innocent! We are all irredeemable monsters who have destroyed something that others held dear. What's so wrong about punishing those who deserve to be punished? And please, are you really gonna tell me that you care about their lives and well-being when you just need a supply of labor to keep this place running? Is it that all you need to keep your cushy life?
Sadly, you're wrong on both counts. Unlike you, I've never seen them as currency. The fortress is not only a place for confinement, but also a place for rebirth. Just as people are free to give in to the darkness within their hearts, they are also free to seek redemption and a new beginning. Our bodies have limits, but our spirits will always remain free. They may have made mistakes, but they are still human beings with people and things that they cherish. And most importantly, they should always retain the freedom to choose their own path once they've reflected on their past misdeeds. But you're destroying their spirits with fear, taking their freedom away so that they'll become slaves who will never again feel and you say that's what they've always deserved? You are nothing compared to them.
He's really mad.
You think me arrogant, Wriotsly? Well, I think you're too young and naive. You understand nothing of this world. Nobody actually sees this fortress as any kind of just a wonderful place. See it for what it is. A dumping ground of pain and misery, irredeemable now and irredeemable forever. No prisoner will listen to you out of gratitude of their hearts. The whip is the only way to make them obey. Had you been just one step slower, I would have already taken control of all the garden mechs in this place. Your vision gives you strength. But how long will it hold against these
You talk big, but in the end, you know nothing outside of power and control. In that case, let me give you a small taste of what real power...
Show him your praise! Let the world know!
A moment, please. Not bad.
Laid bare.
Who is one?
Barbados, guide us.
Stay cool. Face your guilt. Let's begin.
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds call.
Oh, brilliant! Time to shine!
Way now. If you think fear can control everything, well then, terrify me.
Don't high road me. You're just another crook. And it's time you got treated like one.
What's the matter? Too scared to shoot straight?
I'm warning you. Unauthorized punishment and torture are prohibited here. As the Duke, you should set an example.
Funny how that slipped my mind. Well, from this point on, you can forget about that rule. The rules of the fortress are there to keep the likes of you in check. But if the Duke wants somebody dead, he needs no justification. Understood. Sorry for taking so long. Did I keep you waiting?
No, not at all. Paimon didn't know you were so considerate.
If you ask me, I'd say I actually feel very helpless. There's no way that I could truly empathize with the fear that the members felt every day. I could comfort and compensate them all I want, but it might still not be enough to repair the damage that has been done. I have to take responsibility for it, as does the fortress. Yeah, it's the least that we could do.
So, do you have a plan for how you're gonna deal with him yet?
Oh, Dugier? I've already got an idea. For now, I think I'll do nothing.
Huh? Why?
I think it's a very fitting punishment for him to have to imagine the sorts of punishments that will soon be coming his way. He'll be left in the dark with regards to both the dates and the details of his punishment. Of course, that's not to say that I'll be letting him off scot-free. It's not often that I actually get the chance to be creative with my punishments. I'm going to talk to the members of the society. He'll get a chance to experience everything that he's ever inflicted on them.
Paimon didn't know you could also be so harsh. Looks like she should watch her tongue when she's around you in the future.
Why do you think I'd do that kind of thing to you? You offend me, Paimon. Anyway, jokes aside, thank you so much for all of your help. There's still a lot for me to take care of, so how about this? I'll treat you to a meal in 2 days at the Coupon Cafeteria. We should have a better handle on things by then.
No, Paimon's had enough of that place.
Don't worry, it won't be the same old welfare meal. I'll make the necessary arrangements.
Oh, then you...
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer. There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it. Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth. There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it. Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth. There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it. This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer. Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth. There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it. Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth. There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it. Wherever in this world I roam, I remember. Of my home, this blade.
Ah, you're here.
Paimon never forgets about meals. Even if the traveler forgets, Paimon will remind her for sure. That's not what Paimon meant at all. Wriotsly, you got what Paimon meant, right?
I'm a little confused, actually.
Hey, not you too!
Jokes aside, I've got some good news. After taking a look, the doctors have let me know that it shouldn't be too difficult to extract the thorns, which means that everyone should be able to recover after a period of rest. As for their mental recoveries, most are making good progress as well. We've added a few who were more severely affected to a special observation list.
You sure got everything taken care of, Wriotsly.
I try my best. After all, it's my duty to take care of everything that happens within my territory. Please, go ahead. That's a bit of a long story. I once had a similar experience. It had to do with the host family I lived with as a child. I was an orphan, adopted by a couple with a great deal of love in their hearts. I had many siblings, and we all adored each other. Once we were older, Mom and Dad would turn us over to be individually adopted by families of greater means, and go on to adopt more young children. They were perfect parents. Or so I thought.
And then?
And then, I found out we were merely raised as livestock. Once we had reached a certain age, our parents would bring us to the market for sale. All children that were sold would leave the house, and nobody would know what became of them. As for those who didn't sell, they were merely disposed of. Did you know I once considered myself an extremely lucky child? And all of my friends, all of my siblings, they all felt this way as well. I was also not the first to find out about the truth. All those who found out before me were simply added to the disposal pile. I could never shake the feeling of irony every time I juxtaposed their tragic ends against our parents' adoring smiles. Yes, like the society, my parents created a facade of joy, lied to satiate their desires, and even employed incredibly cruel methods to keep their grasp on power. They did all of that, but never considered how their actions would utterly ruin all the children they took under their wing. Worse, Perhaps they never cared about that at all, but I did. So in the end, I killed them and set all of the remaining children free. I was convicted for my crimes and exiled to the fortress of Meripede.
Ah.
My methods were extreme, yes, but I was still a teenager at the time. I'd been betrayed by those I trusted most, and I didn't think that more moderate ways would solve the problem. My doubt and helpless anger pushed me forward until I got what I deserved. It's all right. You don't have to tell me what you think. I've already committed to this path, regardless of what anyone may say about it. The least I can do is to make sure that the same tragedy will not happen again in my new home.
Sorry to disturb you, everyone.
Oh, it's Avis and Fasol. Are you two feeling better yet?
It was all because you arrived in time. I managed to escape unscathed.
We came here on impulse today, because we were hoping that you'd be able to lend us a hand, Your Grace.
Please, go on right ahead. I'll do my best to help. Within reason, of course.
It's... I'd like to be wedded to Avis here at the fortress.
You're getting married?
Yeah, we met each other through the society and both fell into Dugier's trap. But even during our time there, we never doubted each other. We always believed that Dugier was manipulating us, trying to make us mistrust each other. And after this incident, we've come to believe that we've found the one for the rest of our lives.
You could say we managed to make the best out of a bad situation. He didn't abandon me, and I didn't forsake him either, but we're still both prisoners. And we also aren't sure if the fortress is the best place to host something so celebratory. So we are just wondering, is our request a bit too out of line?
You're right in that the fortress has never hosted a wedding before. But that's no reason to say no, is it? I'll help you make the arrangements. If you need anything special shipped in from the surface, just say the word.
We can't thank you enough, Your Grace. We are actually also planning to stay here after the conclusion of our sentences.
Yeah, we've already made tons of special memories here. So now, it'd be too hard to leave. And we have full confidence in the fortress's future with you at the helm, Your Grace.
Your trust is the highest form of praise.
Hey, loosen up a bit. Shouldn't you be the happiest man in Teyvat to hear that people would like to stay of their own free will?
Yeah. I'll always take a genuine expression of faith over any obligation to obey.
Grab yourself a welfare meal.
Perfect. It's you two. I have a commission here that has your names written all over it. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say you're the only ones for the job.
The only ones for the job? Huh. If our help is really that important, it's probably some Archon-class commission, right?
The Adventurers Guild doesn't employ that kind of classification system. In fact, this commission is also probably not nearly as intimidating as what you're all it asks us to do is to find a missing person.
Huh? Then why did you say we were the only ones for the job?
I came across this commission while reviewing our backlog not too long ago. It seems simple, but our records indicate that over a dozen successive efforts to complete it have all ended in failure, despite attempts by several accomplished and renowned adventurers. With the reputation of the Adventurers Guild and the performance of the Sumeru branch at stake, it's in our best interest to assign this commission to the adventurer with the highest completion rate over the past few years.
Well, that's us for sure.
All I'm asking is for you to give it your best shot. If it proves to be beyond your capabilities as well, I'll talk to the commissioner about canceling the commission.
Okay, so who are we looking for? And what is it about this commission that's made it so hard to complete?
This commission was jointly issued by the residents of Vimara Village. They say one of their own villagers has gone missing. But the problem is, they don't know the missing person's name. They can only provide information about his general appearance.
They're all from the same village, but they don't even know his name? If so many adventurers have failed to complete this commission, maybe this missing villager doesn't exist at all. Could it be some sort of a prank or something?
Unlikely. Several villagers came by to issue the commission, and judging by their appearance and tone of voice, they seemed incredibly sincere. It certainly didn't seem like a joke to them. Besides, putting up a commission requires a processing fee. There aren't many upsides to a prank that costs Mora to carry out. In any case, it would probably be best to go to Vimara Village and ask around first. The Adventurers Guild does have some information on hand, but I would say anything you can learn directly from the villagers would be far more reliable. The best way to avoid misdirection is to go to the source.
All right then, let's go! Paimon's starting to get really curious about this whole thing.
Staring into my eyes is ill-advised. I can't promise you'll like what you see.
To Vimara Village! Why don't we talk to some of the villagers to learn a little bit more about the missing guy? If this commission is really as challenging as Catherine made it out to be, we're gonna need to carry out a very detailed investigation.
Hello there. You looking to buy something? I do business in this area.
Oh, no, we're adventurers. Catherine sent us to look into a commission here in Vimara Village.
Ah, so you're here about that, then. Ah, you're not the first, that's for sure. We've certainly made a lot of trouble for you all. To be honest, we aren't holding out much hope. Many adventurers have made their way out here, confident they'd be able to help us, only to leave soon after with nothing to show for their efforts. We've pretty much had it up to here in questions, and the area around the village has practically been overturned in search of clues. But no one has been able to make any headway.
So, this person we're looking for, what's his name? Where did he live? Does he have any relatives?
I don't know. I really have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, guess you are really sick of answering questions.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound short with you. I was actually just giving you my answer to your questions. I know it may seem like we don't have anything to offer by way of information, but I promise you, we all have a very strong impression of him. When you live in the same village as someone, you develop a lot of memories together, you know? We just don't know the specifics. Maybe we did at one point, but that information is long gone by now. At least that's what everyone in the village seems to think. We've all exchanged what we know, and that was the only logical conclusion.
All right, specifics aside then, what kind of person was he?
Young guy, in his early 20s probably. Incredibly kind sort of person, always willing to lend a helping hand. I'd chat with him when I didn't have any customers. I even saw him stick out his neck for others on more than one occasion. Very interesting guy, that one.
Now that you've started talking about him, you don't seem nearly as down in the dumps as you did before. Seems like he left a pretty good impression on you.
But of course, everyone in the village is pretty fond of him. We wouldn't have issued that commission otherwise. There aren't many young people like him nowadays, so genuine and pure. To think that he just up and disappeared one day. I just hope nothing bad happened.
Could he have just moved away without telling anyone?
No, he's not the type to leave without saying goodbye. And anyway, moving away without being seen by a single person in the village? There's no way he would have been able to manage that.
Huh. All right, thanks for the information. We're gonna go ask around some more.
It's the guests I hear.
Hi, Grandpa Amadea. We're here to help you look for the guy that's gone missing.
Ah, so that's what brings you to these parts. Coming all this way for our sake. That's so very kind of you. With your help, I trust that young man's case is in good hands.
Could you tell us a bit about him?
Of course. I'm happy to help any way I can. With my failing eyesight, I'm afraid I can't offer much about his appearance. But I do remember hearing the sound of his voice. Not recently, of course. That loss has left me feeling quite empty. I don't think his parents are still living in the village. But somehow he never seemed lonely. In fact, he was usually the one offering companionship to others. He would often take time to visit the elderly or play with the orphans in the village. And whenever someone had something on their mind, he was there to listen with open ears. As the village chief, I owe him many thanks. Helping villagers navigate difficult moments in their lives should have been one of my responsibilities. But he was often the one rising to the occasion.
Wow. He seems like such a nice and gentle person. No wonder his disappearance affected you all so much. But, you wouldn't happen to know any details about his name, address, or family situation, right?
I'm ashamed to admit it, but I just can't remember. No matter how you look at it, I should know those things. But for some reason, no matter how hard I try to remember, the information just doesn't come. Perhaps my age really has caught up with me this time.
It's okay. There's no need to force yourself to try and remember. We'll figure something out. Well, Traveler, what do you think? I think so too. Like, the name thing. It's so weird that no one remembers his name, and nobody has been able to tell us anything about his family or where he lived. It's like this guy's been erased from reality. Wait, so you're saying it's not that he's been erased, necessarily, but more like he never existed to begin with? Okay, Paimon's gonna need some time to process that one. Someone who only exists in people's memory?
You two are the adventurers who just arrived, right? You're here for the Vamara Village Commission?
Yep, sure are. We were just looking into the case.
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank goodness you haven't given up. I've been so worried the Adventurers Guild might cancel our commission. My name is Atosa, by the way. I grew up here in Vamara Village. Anyway, I just wanted to say, please keep searching for a missing villager. I'm begging you.
Yeah, no need to worry. We'll give it our best shot. So, were you close to the missing villager? Are there any leads you can give us?
I'm not sure this counts as a lead, but follow me. There's a place I'd like to show you.
Is this the place? Under this tree?
Yep. I know it doesn't look like much, but this place is very meaningful to me. It's so full of memories. We used to always sit together under this tree and talk. Sometimes we would look up at the clouds in the sky, or stop to feel the wind against our skin. We could sit there for hours at a time, never realizing how long it had been. I was actually adopted by the people of Vamara Village. The forest rangers found me in the woods as a child. I was surrounded by such good people, and growing up in the village was so lively. Still, there were times when I couldn't help but feel incredibly alone.
Alone?
How should I put it? When something's bothering you, or when you have good news to share, you always want to talk about it with somebody. But for the longest time, I didn't know who I could talk to, or if I should say anything at all. Everyone has their own problems to deal with. Even if I might want to confide in others, I don't want to become a burden. Really? You know exactly how I feel? Wow, that sounds really nice. You're quite lucky. When it comes to our missing villager, well, I guess you could say that to me. He felt like both a family member I could rely on and a friend who could really understand me. No matter what came my way, I knew I could always talk to him. He was so thoughtful and pure, and patient too. Whenever I talked to him, he would always seem so interested, as if the things I was describing were just as important to him as they were to me. Ever since he disappeared, There's been so much I wanted to tell him. No, none of those things matters now. I just really want to see him again.
Wow, you two must have been really close. Did he ever tell you anything about himself?
He mostly just talked about interesting things he saw around the village. He'd share a lot of his own wild ideas as well. Oh, right! I did ask him about his parents once. But all he said was, they're not here anymore. I didn't know whether that meant they had left the village or passed away, and I didn't want to pry.
Still not much to go off of.
Look at me. Talking your ear off and still nothing to show for it. I'm sorry I wasn't more help. The last time I talked this much in one go was when we were still together. Come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk, just like right now. Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Well, time always seems to pass slower when you're relaxed, right? What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, look at those hilly trails over there. Doesn't it seem like they're acting a little strange? The Abyss Order. Could they be the ones behind all of this? Uh-oh, we've been spotted! Quick!
I swear by my sword! Everlasting as the moon! Transfixed!
One with nature, as one with wind and cloud!
Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting monsters to show up. If you hadn't been here, I'm not sure what I would have done.
It was no trouble.
Now that I think about it, the hilly trolls around Vimara village have been a lot more active lately. They seem agitated and would often attack anything in sight. Chief Amadea doesn't allow the children to play in the area around the village anymore.
Maybe the Abyss Order really is involved. Well, we should head back and check out the situation in Vimara village just in case. If the Abyss Order is plotting something, that could spell trouble for the villagers. Wait a second. That person! It's Dainslev!
Ah, it's you two.
Oh, a friend of yours? Well, I'll leave you all to it then. I should head back to the village and check up on Chief Amadea and the others anyway. See you later.
Yep, see you later, Atosa! Why do you always have to pop up out of nowhere like that? Is it your life's mission to jump scare us or something?
It's hardly personal, or intentional for that matter. As long as you and I are both in pursuit of the Abyss Order, we're bound to cross paths.
Ah, so you're here to investigate the Abyss Order then. That would explain the monsters you were fighting.
Naturally. Hold on. Are you not here for the same purpose? No matter. It may have taken you a while to catch on, but I'm sure you've also realized by now that there's something strange about this place. The Abyss Order is most certainly planning something in this area. Or worse, their plan could already be in motion.
So you think the Abyss Order is behind the hilly trail activity in the area?
As things stand, I highly doubt that is their primary motive. I would imagine the increased hilichurl activity is merely a byproduct of whatever it is they're really trying.
Still, the hilichurl activity is causing a lot of problems for the people here. We should stick around for a while and protect the village, don't you think?
The best way to protect them is by figuring out what the Abyss Order is truly planning. That is how we prevent further tragedy. And you shall have them. I never intended to hide anything from you. Don't worry. There should be ample time to talk. Ah. So that was the commission that brought you here to Vimara Village. Someone who seems to only exist in people's memories. That is indeed quite intriguing. I would agree that it's unlikely you have a simple missing persons case on your hands. However, any possible connection to the Abyss Order is still unclear. It appears all we have by way of clues is increased hilichurl activity, and that is certainly not much to go off of.
Right! That mysterious voice she heard in her brother's memory. The one who called himself a sinner. Who is he?
Traveler, let me ask you this. Do you believe your sibling to have betrayed you? I sense hesitation in your words. After all, you still haven't figured out the whole truth of what happened. There's still hope for the two of you to reconcile. Irreparable damage has not yet been done. The sinner you wish to know about, his situation is different. He and his fellow sinners have long betrayed me, and long betrayed their nation. His name is Vedrfolnir, the Visionary. I'm loath to admit it, but he is also my kin, my older brother.
Your brother?
There were 5 of them, the 5 sinners of Kanria. The wise Roptatir, the visionary Vedrfolnir, Gold Rhindaughter, the foul Sertologi, and Rehir of Solnari, Rerir. No matter how eroded my memory may become, I will never forget their names. One day, I shall have my vengeance.
Wait, some of those names sound really familiar. Rhindaughter is the one who created Albedo. Sertologi is Skirk's master. And the one we just learned about, Dane's brother, Vedrfolnir. If he was the voice of the sinner, then the one who inspired Clothar to create the Abyss Order was him.
They were once people of great esteem in Kanria, those who carried the hopes of the nation. They were the best of their peers, outstanding in their respective fields. The 6 of us, together. We should have been the ones to prevent the disaster. The ones to stop the Vinster King from continuing to rock the foundation of the world. Yet, deep within, the 5 of them craved something more. They could not resist the call of the Abyss, and divided among themselves a power that could destroy the world. So they became sinners, but also transcendent beings, each in possession of world-shattering power. And when the cataclysm occurred, not one of them stood up in defense of their nation. Not one came forward to prevent the tragedy, and for that, they shall never have my forgiveness. Indeed, if they are not stopped, the day is sure to come when they will also betray the entire world. Of course, as I said, I never intended to hide anything from you.
So, Dane, what have you been looking into all this?
I've continued to investigate the questions surrounding the Loom of Fate. It's been quite some time since the initial operation was launched. By retrieving the eye of the first field tiller, we were able to stop part of their plan from coming to fruition.
Oh, Paimon remembers! Weren't they going to use it to corrupt Osial and make a god or something?
Indeed. However, it's obvious that was just some sort of technical experiment. The eye was integral to their plan, yet somehow, despite failing to obtain it, they've skipped the experimental phase and found some other way to keep moving forward. There are many signs pointing to that effect.
Then what should we do? It's not too late, is it?
Our most pressing concern is to determine the purpose of the Loom of Fate. From there, we'll be able to deduce the Abyss Order's true objective. Based on the intel I've gathered so far, I suspect the Loom of Fate is related to the ley lines in some way.
The ley lines?
Traveler, you were able to observe your siblings' memories last time, yes? I believe that was due to the fact that the ley lines in that area were unstable. My recent investigation has shown that Abyss Order activity in a particular area is usually followed by a series of issues with the ley lines.
Wait, then our commission here in Vimara Village, the person who seems to exist only in people's memories, could it be connected?
It's certainly possible. I'll join your investigation tomorrow. This missing persons case could very well turn out to be the key to unraveling these mysteries.
Well, if we're teaming up with Dane again, we're gonna need all the energy we can get. Let's try investigating somewhere a little further away tomorrow.
So tired. Paimon used way too much brain juice yesterday.
It's all Dane's fault saying all that complicated stuff. Well, let's go find Dane!
I follow the wind. Time to go.
Dane? Hello, Dane? Why are you just zoning? Did something happen?
The missing person from your commission. Could you describe them to me?
Oh, young guy? Early 20s? Seriously, Dane, what's going on?
There appear to be certain memories in my mind that weren't there before. Memories of him.
Maybe we just talked too much about him yesterday and you had a weird dream or something?
No, it wasn't a dream. They're memories. Memories that suddenly appeared in my mind after I woke up. And I'm certain I've never met this person before. I remember handing him the eye of the first field tiller.
What? Okay, so this missing person definitely has something to do with the Abyss Order then!
Indeed. And it appears he possesses the ability to implant memories into the minds of others.
Wait then. All the memories the villagers have of him, could they be fake too? Maybe they never knew him at all. But why would he do something like that?
Whatever the Abyss Order is planning, an important truth has been revealed to us this morning.
What sort of truth?
That their goal is still to obtain the eye of the first field tiller. They haven't stopped searching for it. I am the only person who knows its location. Perhaps implanting that particular memory was an attempt to interfere with my mind in some way. Your concerns are not entirely unfounded. I don't believe the Abyss Order is capable of altering reality like that just yet. However, considering their single-minded pursuit of the Eye, I would say an equal level of caution is in order on our part. Come with me. We must check whether the Eye is still in our possession.
Oh, so you're going to take us to where you hid it?
Of course.
Gotta grow up quickly so I can go. I wanna go traveling too.
Into the wind!
So you hid it way out here? Not an easy place to discover, that's for sure. Well, let's go check to see if it's safe.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
Hey, wait up!
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer. There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Time to go.
Wind, hear me!
Clouds high. The birds come.
It appears the mechanisms here have changed over time. You can access the upper floor through the side door. Perhaps you should try reactivating the mechanism over there.
One with nature.
Strike a pose! Let the world come alive!
Overruled! Pitiful.
Make sure all the runes are pointing in the direction indicated by the light. That should unlock the mechanism.
Laid bare.
The door's open. Let's go. Our destination is just up ahead.
Looks like we can't go any further.
Be on your guard. I sense the presence of the Abyss.
It's the Abyss Order! They're here!
The wind knows me.
Overruled! Witness my rise. Laid bare.
Cold suffering! Fullest blood!
I swear by my... Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
Transfix.
Just as I suspected. The false memories were a trap. The Abyss Order just wanted to follow us here. Now that they're in the vicinity, we should have a chance to see.
Dane? What's wrong?
Can you feel that? There's been a disturbance in the ley lines. It must be the work of the Abyss.
Wow, you must be really sensitive to that sort of thing. Paimon doesn't feel it.
You too. Do as I say. Use that mechanism over there and leave this place. The Abyss Order is putting something in motion. If you return to Vimara Village, I suspect you might finally have the opportunity to locate the missing villager. Just think of it as a way to divide and conquer. I knew going along with your trap would be the only way to meet with you face to face.
You risked your safety, and that of the Eye. That's quite the gamble, Dainsleif. But I believe that I am the one walking into a trap laid by the Twilight Sword.
So you came here all on your own? What about those followers of yours?
When the Twilight Sword is prepared for battle, any army I could send would only be marching to their doom. Better that I face you alone. I know you must have a lot to say, but if it's a conversation you want, you'll have to defeat me first.
The Abyss Order's on the move. The ley lines are all out of whack. We better hurry back to Vimara Village and see what's going on. Hey, look at those hilly trails over there. Weren't they acting super agitated just a little while ago? Why are they so calm?
In the New World, they bade farewell to the shrouded sun. At last, they no longer needed to dwell on their suffering, or try to differentiate between various thoughts of blasphemy. Such was the price they paid, and thus their souls became cleansed and pure.
Did you hear that? What was that sound? It sounded so gentle. Could that voice be comforting the Hilichurls in some way? Oh, this is weird. Let's check if this is happening anywhere else. Looks like the same thing is happening over here too. The Hilichurls are calm.
You see, we're both still here. We've reclaimed an endless amount of time to love. Release your tears. You no longer need to hold back your sorrow.
Over there. It looks like they're sleeping.
In the end, he whispered softly, "Sleep well, Father. Sleep well, my beloved people. When you awake, that which differentiates us shall be no more."
It almost sounds like a poem or some kind of story. Well, now that the Hilichurls have calmed down, Vimara Village should be safe at least. Let's put this situation to the side for now. Dane said this might be our chance to find the missing villager, so we should head back to Vimara Village before it's too late.
One with nature. Time to go.
Grandpa Amadea, is everyone all right? The Abyss Order seems to be up to something nearby.
The Abyss Order? This is the first I'm hearing of it. Thank you for your concern. But as far as I'm aware, it's been business as usual here in the village.
Well, that's good to hear. Oh, also, you didn't happen to come across any clues about the missing villager while we were gone, did you?
Someone's gone missing, you say? Who would that be?
Huh? You know, the young guy from Vimara Village. The one you've been looking for all this time? You posted a commission with the Sumeru Adventurers Guild. That's kind of the whole reason we're here, actually. Your missing persons commission.
Ah, I do apologize, you two. I hope I'm not worrying you too much. I'm sure it's just my age making me forgetful again. At least right now, I can't seem to recall whatever it is you're referring to. Perhaps you should try asking someone else.
But how is that? All right. Thanks for your help, Grandpa Amadea. Something's definitely not right. We just talked to Grandpa Amadea about the missing villager. There's no way he could have forgotten all about him. What do you think, Traveler? Could everyone's memories of the missing villager have been erased again? You're right. We should narrow down the possibilities first. Let's go ask someone else then.
Theology is so much more interesting.
Someone's gone missing? Who?
Just as expected. That guy you said a bunch of nice things about earlier? The one you always used to chat with. He's around 20 years old, and you said he was a kind, warm-hearted person?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Really? You remember?
There aren't many young people who've earned that kind of praise from me. If you're certain that's what I said, then there's only one person who fits the bill. No doubt about it. But why'd you say he's gone missing? Yeah, I just saw him leave the village. There was someone else with him, too. They couldn't have gone far.
Strange. Bayram seems to remember him. And apparently he just saw him? Do you think maybe it's not that there's something wrong with people's memories, but that we've somehow returned to a time before he went missing?
Just like what happened with Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? No. If we really did travel back to a time before he disappeared, time travel is... If this person only...
Right! Paimon totally forgot about the ley line disturbances. We're in someone else's just like how you entered your sibling's memory last time. That would also explain why we seem to be at a time before he went missing. It's a memory after all. Right. If he's someone who only exists in people's memories, then we're finally on the same turf. But didn't Bayron just say that he saw him leave the village with someone? Where should we go look for him? Who knows how long this ley line disturbance is gonna last? We might not have that much time, and we don't even know whose memory this is. Good idea! That'll help us. We pretty much figured out that the missing villager has the ability to... Right! That! Could we try to figure out more about him using what we know of his ability? Like, does it maybe leave a trace that would somehow give him away?
All the memories... No. There's a difference. Maybe not. If time was allowed to pass within the false memories, there's a higher chance they might conflict with someone's original recollection. That would make it much harder.
No wonder! All this time and the sky hasn't changed a bit! That must mean time isn't passing! That's the tell of the fake memory! The implanted memories are basically taking place outside of the regular 24 hours of the day. If the memories included the regular passage of time, it would be easy for people to tell that something was off, like there could be overlap or something. People might start to wonder why they remember doing two different things at the same time of day. That's why he makes sure the memories take place at a specific moment in time rather than over a period of time.
The color of the sky.
Oh, right! That's exactly what Atosa described!
Come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk. Just like right now. Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Yep, that has to be it! This is definitely Yeah, that's where they'll be...
So, you see, Granny Jahiet was a mercenary when she was younger. She just talks like that out of habit. She's not trying to scare the children on purpose. Oh, there I go again. Always talking about my own things. Do you maybe have anything you want to share? It's okay if you don't. You could also just talk about what you think of me?
Oh, I think you're an incredibly strong and thoughtful young woman. You'll meet many amazing people and live a very happy life. You won't miss someone like me.
Huh? Are those your friends over there?
Oh, right! This version of Atosa hasn't met us yet!
Friends? I guess you could say that. It must have taken them a lot of effort to find me. So, I should see what they need. I'm sorry, Atosa. We'll have to continue this conversation another time.
Another time, huh? Yeah, okay. I'll head back to the village then. Talk to you some other time.
It's nice to see you, Traveler. I believe this is the first time we've met.
Born into abject You're Kari Bear Alberic.
Oh. You know me? That's quite the surprise. I don't believe I've met you before. Oh, I see. It was the memory, wasn't it? Your sibling's memory. You saw the me from back then. This is Atosa's memory. I came here to say goodbye to her, but I suppose I'll just leave her a message instead. Come, let's find somewhere else to talk. I suppose you could call it the realm of my consciousness. I'm someone who no longer exists in the real world, after all. As you well know. It's nothing. I still have enough strength to play the part of a good host. I've always hoped that I'd get the chance to talk to you like this, and now, the time has finally arrived. Extreme sorrow and pain. Hope and regret coursing through your veins. And a degree of abyssal power that defies comprehension. Father told me that once I possessed all those elements, I would become the loom of fate. But despite his intentions for me, I never truly became the loom of fate. I was merely used as a means for its construction, in truth. I died the moment I set everything in motion. The person you see before you now is nothing but a remnant of consciousness left over within the loom of fate. As for your question, the loom of fate is a device capable of weaving ley lines. In its primitive form, it can only be used to create and implant memories. But as more of it is completed, its power becomes stronger and stronger, until finally, it has the power to weave real ley lines of its own. Once fully completed, the moment it gains the power to weave ley lines, it loses the lower level ability to influence memories, but it also becomes a tool that can change the entire world. Yes, I have the ability to control the loom in its semi-completed form. I suppose you can think of it as a form of compensation. After all, its existence cost me my life. That. I was wrong to implant those memories. I'm sorry I caused so much trouble. Not only for everyone in the village, but for you as well. I just wanted them to feel like I once existed in this world, as if I had a chance at life. I know what you must be thinking. Why would I do something so meaningless? But I just couldn't accept it. I had to know what it would be like if I had my own life. What kind of person I would be. What other people would think of me. Chief Ahmadiyya, Baram, Granny Jahiyat, Atosa. What would it be like if I could live alongside them? No cataclysm, no curse. Just a quiet life in a peaceful village. I was curious, so I selfishly tried to have my own life, even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been. One memory at a time. I know it sounds stupid. After all, my life ended a long time ago. Any chance at living was stripped away from me when I was 8 years old. My consciousness left to mature in an illusory world of nothingness. Even the form you see before you was nothing but an invention based on my father's appearance. An imagined version of what I would look like if I had the chance to grow up. I know. But there's nothing I can do to make them find me. If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the suddenness of it all. But, well, that's not possible for me. I know. Captain Dainsleif. Twilight Sword, you mean? No need to meet up with him. Things should already be settled on his end. Exactly. As someone who could only exist in people's memories, the fact that I'm able to talk to you in my consciousness like this can only mean one thing. The loom of fate has already been completed. No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. He's absolutely fine. The only reason he lost the eye was because I happened to guess exactly what he was planning. Captain Dainsleif has had the eye inside his body this whole time, hasn't he? His plan was to lure the Abyss Order to a false location, capitalizing on their pursuit of the eye in order to have the chance to confront the prince. He would then hand the eye to you and tell you to take it away from that location. That way, Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal and ensure the safety of the eye all at once. That's right, because in his mind, he had given it to you already. Before you two entered that false location.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
That was when I implanted the memory of him handing you the eye. Given the tense situation at that time, Captain Dainsleif failed to notice anything out of the ordinary, and took that memory to be real. I'm sorry, Traveler, but I needed the Loom of Fate to be completed. And to do that, we had to retrieve the eye. I promise I'm not trying to conceal anything from you, but I truly have no idea what the Prince is planning. Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet. Creating new ley lines can neither replace nor extend the ones that already exist. In the face of everything they could be planning, I fear I'm too insignificant to even get a glimpse of the bigger picture. In any case, I had my own use for the Loom of Fate, and my goal, at least, has been achieved. You remember my father, don't you? Clotar Alberic. I believe you saw him in your sibling's memory. After he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my hilichurl form, I suffered from an indescribable level of mental anguish. To comfort me, my father told me a story, that this was a fairy tale world where I had to take on the form of a little monster. That story managed to dispel my fears, even if just for a moment. My goal was simple: to use the Loom of Fate in its near-completed form, when its ability to create memories was at its strongest, to implant a specific memory into the minds of the hilichurls. In that memory, I would tell them a story, just like my father did for me. It was a story of fairy tales and love. But more than anything, it was the story of us. I can't change the world. Not when I lost the very right to exist within it. Implanting those memories, that was the most worthwhile thing I could offer. All that's left of my existence is a wisp of residual consciousness tied to the Loom of Fate. In truth, that trace of my consciousness should have dissipated long ago. My goal was the one thing that allowed me to hold on all this time. But now, the bedtime story is finished. And it's finally time to rest.
Looks like I was too late to see Kari Bear one last time. Kari Bear's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it. Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too. Well, how about a conversation? The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy to come by. Wouldn't you agree? That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dane, I mean. I didn't expect that after everything, he would still hesitate to raise his sword against me. Were it not for that, perhaps I'd still be no match for the Twilight Sword. Even at the Loom of Fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential. But there's still time, before the heavenly principles awaken. Yes, for 500 years now, ever since the cataclysm in Conria, there's been no sign of activity. Not long ago, You witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne. Yes, such a flagrant disregard for the rules. And still Celestia took no action. I suppose that's proof enough of the Heavenly Principles situation. However, the Heavenly Principles will awaken. We just don't know when that will be, or what might trigger it. You could say that. Just look at Kari Bear. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who he was. Quiet and peaceful, even as a hilly churl. Seeing the terrible sight within the mirror wasn't enough to taint his spirit. He brought comfort to the people of this world, even though he was denied the very right to be a part of it. So ask yourself this. Who was it that deprived him of that right to exist? Of course, that's only one example. My feelings about the Heavenly Principles are too complicated to explain in just a few words. Lumine?
You're the only one in this world who calls me that. There's so much I wanted to ask you. But for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now. There's just one thing I have to ask. One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
At the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers at the end. Do you remember? A long time ago, when we traveled between worlds together, you told me. You wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me? Well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
You mean?
I miss you too, Lumine. But as this war continues to rage, and as I continue to seek that final answer, I don't even know how to face myself sometimes. Let alone my own sister.
What's going on?
This space has lost its tether. I doubt it'll be able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our ability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. With Kari Bear gone, we won't be able to remember anything that happened here. Everything in this space will be wiped from existence, including all memory of our reunion.
You're only telling me this now?
Still so sleepy. Paimon's head feels all fuzzy. Oh, Paimon woke up a little earlier than you, so Paimon will fill you in. The villagers said that they saw us sleeping near the village yesterday. They couldn't wake us up no matter how hard they tried, so they decided to just bring us back here. Oh, and Dane came by just now? It looked like he was injured. He didn't say anything, though. Just made sure that you were all right and left. Kinda seemed like he had a lot on his mind, but that's Dane for ya. Let's think for a second. We were in that memory, and we saw that guy you called Kari Bear. He was the missing villager that we've been trying to find, right? And after that, Paimon doesn't remember what happened. Wait, really? What a score! Well, happened after that?
Ah, there you are. Sleep well?
Bayram, you sure seem happy. Did something good happen?
Something good? Huh. Wasn't anything good or bad, I'd say. It's just that, well, the village organized another search party yesterday. It didn't feel right to leave all the searching to the adventurer. So there we were, searching away, when suddenly this one guy said it all came back to him. According to him, one day around dusk, he was passing by this one tree outside the village, and he saw our missing villager. There he was, sleeping under that tree all by himself. His parents came a little later to wake him up, and they all left together. They looked like quite a happy family, apparently. And after that, well, we all started to feel like that really is what happened. Kind of strange that we forgot all about it for so long. Oh, and we also remembered his name, Curry Bear. Now, that's not a name you hear every day. Would have been helpful if we remembered it sooner. Well, I hope he's happy wherever he is. And we're all relieved now that we know what happened.
Seems like everyone thinks Curry Bear left the village. That's probably for the best. At least they have some sort of explanation now. Paimon wonders how Atosa's doing. Maybe we should go check on her. If she hasn't remembered like everyone else, we can tell her what happened. Paimon didn't see her in the village just now, so she's probably at the tree. Come on, let's go talk.
Oh, it's you two. I was just about to go looking for you. I wanted to thank you. I was part of the search party, so I remember what happened to Curry Bear now. Honestly, I just can't believe I forgot something so important. It's funny, but I have this feeling he told me the same thing. I just can't seem to remember when. I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Life is made up of a series of memories. As long as I hold on to our time together, he'll always be a part of my life. I'm just happy I got to meet him. So, who cares what happens in the future, right? Okay, I'll admit. I'm just putting on a brave face. I was dumped, wasn't I? Otherwise, why would he just leave like that without saying goodbye? You don't need to comfort me. I'll be okay. It's just like Curry Bear said. It's the things we overcome that make life more precious. And you know, if he has a heart, maybe he'll come back and see me one day. Anyway, thanks for all your hard work, you two. I promised I'd help Granny Jahiet with something, so I should head back. Goodbye.
Well, that should be it, right? Everyone's lives can go back to normal now. Oh, right! Weren't you about to tell Paimon what happened after your conversation with Curry Bear? A picture? Where'd that come from? Let Paimon see.
greater pleasure is there than the unexpected? Overruled! Everlasting as the moon! Ah, something with which to commemorate this occasion. Laid bare. What could... children be up to? Never mind. Let them do as they please.